Okay, so let's see. Now, the Queen of Wands, rule of thumb is she's going to go for it. That's her thing. She's very confident. She takes action, right? Wands is all about action. And her whole energy is, all right, what do I want? Right, I know I want that. Now, let me go get it. Let me go for it. And all of the Wands people kind of do that, but her more than I always see with her, she's so kind of flamboyant and charismatic, and she's that kind of, she's the flame that draws the moths to her. Like, she's that kind of energy, but she puts herself out there. Both the King and Queen of Wands are very comfortable in the limelight or being in the spotlight, which is a place Scorpio usually isn't. You guys like to keep things, well, that's where this is coming up, right? But there's a question mark. I don't know if this is work. It's really about stepping up now and being recognized for who you are, because that's the Queen of Wands. She's going to step it up a notch. She's going to put herself out there. If this is romantically, or even, not even romantically, socially, she is very sociable. She gets out there more. She's seen more. She's a very sexy, passionate person, right? That's whether you're masculine, feminine, or whatever, right? It's not about genders. That's her energy. That's her energy. And I often feel with her that, it's so fast, her decision-making process of, yes, I want this, right, I'm going to go for it. And it's all about the doing. With the King, Queen of Wands, all of the Wands people, it's about the doing. They're not too concerned about long-term commitment, what will happen. They're like, what can I do right now? What can I do right now? Now, that's what I mean. The two energies, they oppose each other, because we've got her, I'm going to go for it. This is who I am. Going to go shine my light, be seen, be recognized for who I am. And yet there's this. Why is the Two of Pentacles coming up here? Two of Pentacles is weighing up the pros and cons, looking at the details. Should I do this? Should I go and shine? Should I, is it the right time? Like, all of that stuff. Or we overthink it almost. But this could also be, it's time for you to go and shine, to be seen, to be recognized, to be more sociable, to hang out with people, to date, or to be recognized at work, to step up in some way. And this can sometimes be the distraction card, the Two of Pentacles, where it's like, no, well, I need to go do some work, or, I'll just take care of this first. And maybe when we renovate that room and then we'll think about moving. It can be anything. But this is where we're looking at the practical details. Now, she does not look at the practical details. Why? Because it's all about the passion and energy that comes from her, what she has to express. But there's a sense here, and I don't know why it's coming in like that, but because usually I'd want the Wheel of Fortune or something to talk about timings, but here it kind of feels like, oh, the time's not right. It's not right yet. I know I've got this. I know I can shine. I know I can be recognized for this. I know, whatever, but it's not right. I need to do this first. That's what's coming in. So this might be the week where that shifts, if is what's been going on. And I'm not saying you don't have things to do. So, whatever you believe is more important at this time, whatever your priorities are, they're absolutely correct, because it's your story, it's your life, and whatever you believe, that's the script. You're writing the script as you go. But the Two of Pentacles does say, if you're juggling a lot, right? And, the most positive vibration of this energy is that you're recognized. You're seen for how much you're taking on. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a dark element, but it's just with that tower there, there is this sense of like the house of cards that we're building can collapse. So this is about dropping this, take a look at the bigger picture. How do you feel? What's going on in your feelings? Because it kind of feels like you've been doing a lot practically, and you might have things going on at home, things going on at work, and relationships. It might be all of that. But it's time to get back to you and to shine your light brightly. Now, you got the Tower at the heart of the reading. As I told Libra, the card that's at the heart of the reading, that kind of, that's the focus. That's what everything revolves around. That's what we're trying to achieve, right? And whatever this is, this the day-to-day, it's the Two of Pentacles, and that can be a business partnership. This can go so many different ways, because this might be, it's time for you to shine as a solo, if you've been in a kind of partnership, practical partnership. So it can be that. You'll know what it means. Don't try to shoehorn it if it doesn't fit. But you'll know, where are you the Queen of Wands, and where have you been inundated with this? Weighing up the pros and cons, not looking at how you feel, just getting it done, what needs to be done, right? because this feels like something needs to go. The Tower frees us. The card before the Tower in the Major Arcana is the Devil. That's about what's holding us back. She doesn't get held back. And so it blows up. Not literally, but that's what the Tower is. It frees us from the Devil. It can be something shocking that happens out of nowhere. That's the whole element of it. It's shock. It's immediate. It's shock. We have two cards of change coming up here, the Death card and the Tower, but they're very different kinds of change. Death kind of rolls through town slowly. Like we see things going, people going, everything's changing. That's your card, right? Death and rebirth, Scorpio energy. But the Tower isn't. The Tower can be shocking news, shocking changes, an epiphany that comes out of nowhere. Now, especially you would think that with the High Priestess coming up. An aha moment, a realization of something. Now, what is it to do with? It's to do with the Lovers. And the Lovers, yes, it can be about a romantic relationship, but at its core, it's about what we love. This is the card for Gemini. I kind of feel like, I think Gemini might have actually gotten this card here. So if you have, don't know why I'm remembering that, but the Lovers is that. It's two halves of a whole. It's the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the dark and the light, the positive and the negative. They're all two sides of the same coin. And together they make a whole. And that's what the Lovers reminds us. That it's the illusion of difference. It's the illusion of separation. Now, I know we're in the 3D, we're in human bodies. So if the person that we love or the job that we love is on the other side of the world, that's like, there's no illusion there, Jay. It's on the other side of the world. There's distance. There's physical distance, but the Lovers doesn't talk about that. It's talking about what we love. And so it's telling you your heart has already decided what it loves. Now, that might be an unexpected realization that, oh my God, I actually do love this job or that person or whatever. But the Tower can be an unexpected separation, you know, and I don't mean that. Don't start to suspect it's going on. It's at the heart. The focus is here. So it's something that you're dealing with right now or something that you want to make happen. This is not going to be a surprise. So please don't start worrying, oh my God, is this going to happen? Because that's not the case. The truth is coming out. If you're not dealing with any of this stuff, then this is not your reading. This is not your reading. But there's this kind of juggling act going on to try to maintain, like keep all the balls in the air, to keep all the moving parts of this thing going. And it's like, well, no, it's not. Let's not distract ourselves with the other stuff. What do we love? And I know people say the Lovers is a head or heart decision. I do not see it as a decision. I don't see it as a decision. This is basically the heart's decided what it wants. Is the head going to get on board? And the head has to get on board for you to progress forward. Why do I say that? Because the card after the Lovers is the Chariot. The Chariot. And that's the head and heart working together. Now, another interesting thing that kind of, see, this is, I read cards in very different ways. The different stories and different energies come up. If the Tower frees you from the Devil is the flip side of the Lovers. The Devil's number 15 adds up to a 6. The Lovers adds up to a 6. So is it that, you know, you're freed from a toxic situation and you can now go for what you love? This is where generals can be difficult sometimes, because it can apply, the energy can be applied. We have that energy to use. We have that energy to use. Some people are going to use it for relationships, for work, for their house, for their home, for their family, for their hobbies, whatever. Some people would dodge that. But we have this coming up as a past energy. There's been a lot of change. There's been a lot of loss when Death card shows up. But whenever Death shows up, I always feel like it shows up when everything's empty. Like we've lost everything. And I think I said this a few weeks ago. I think it was in Capricorn's reading, where, you know, this is where you're standing there. Imagine yourself standing at the front door of your house and the people are literally walking out. And you're like, what the hell's going to go next? The shirt off my back? People are leaving. Situations are leaving. But this is where we start to bring things back in. Now we can start bringing things back in. The whole reason all of that got removed is because of this. I kind of feel like you had your fingers in too many pies, or if that's the saying how it goes, but that's what I mean, that, you know, there's too much going on here. And it's, you're not shining as bright as you could, or you're not being seen for. Some of you, I'll be honest, some of you have been socializing a lot. Keeping up, and not even enjoyment. Like she would enjoy it, but he's not enjoying it. It's hard work. It's too much. And so this brings things back down to basics. What do you love? What do you love? All this room has been made in your life death of an old situation, birth of a new. There's massive transformation. Massive. Like, things can't go back to the way they were when you've had the death and the tower card come up. It just doesn't happen. Now, that doesn't mean that you've lost your job, you lost your relationship, you lost your whatever. It doesn't mean that. Or some of you might have. But it doesn't mean, it just means that whatever you do next, it's doing it in a different way. This all happened so you can, it's always for our highest good. Doesn't feel it when you're standing in the rubble of that tower. It's not easy. But it's so liberating, especially with the lovers coming up. There's a sense, I don't know who needs to hear it, but you are now free to go for what you love. You're now free to go for what you love. It's all been cleared out of the way. And you're still trying to figure out, is it? But you have the Ace of Swords in the present. The Ace of Swords is a new truth, a new cycle that comes in. Now think about this. The card before the Ace of Swords, and it is a cycle, right? So there's always a card before it, is the Ace to the 10. So the 10 of Swords came up before this. Some shit went down. You had to overcome some pretty gnarly crap, especially with that coming up there. But it's given you a new perspective. This is a victory card. That's why we have that victory wreaths around there in the crown. It gives you victory. A new truth, a new philosophy, new ideas, new beliefs. You can go forward speaking a new truth. All right. So if we're going to go forward speaking a new truth and we're recognized for that, what do you get out of that? And it's kind of bizarre. You got the 7 of Swords coming up. Now, if that's the truth, that can be lies. If that's clarity, that's the shadows. So this is the week I kind of feel like where something is a reveal. It starts off with you though. It didn't come up that way. It didn't come up that way. If it was that way, it would be here, hide in the shadows, but it gets exposed. That's worse. Then I would say that is what the Tower was. But it's almost as if, you know, whenever we want the truth, whenever we want clarity from someone else, from work, from a situation, whatever we want, we have to be that. So it's almost like Scorpio. As soon as you start speaking your truth, as soon as you start getting the acclaim, as soon as you're like, I'm not juggling all this stuff anymore. I'm fabulous. I want the world to know I'm fabulous at whatever it is. Or I'm worth more than this. Or I deserve love, right? That's where I feel the truth kind of comes out. Because the 7 of Swords for me, whenever it shows up, I always feel like we see the thief in the night. Whatever's been hidden, whatever been in the shadows, it comes out. It comes out. Now, with this truth, this is, what else do we know about the 7 of Swords? It's about escaping a situation or not wanting to take a risk. Not wanting to take a risk. Because it's too risky. I always see the 7, it is a sneaky energy. 7 of Swords is sneaky. I've always said that about 7 of Swords. But sometimes we are called to be sneaky. After we tell the truth, though. So I'm not really getting that too much. I feel like whatever this was, the Tower, this is full understanding, but it comes from your own truth. It's so strange because Libra got different cards, but got a very similar message. So I don't know if some of you have Libra placements, very possible as you guys are Scorpio, right next to each other, or dealing with a Libra. It wouldn't keep coming up as that unless it was part of the message. So, you know, I've checked that out. But we got the High Priestess. Now, the thing is, she also talks about secrets. That's intuition. That is, you know, she's the keeper of all secrets. She's the keeper of all knowledge. But she's passive. She doesn't act on it. So what do you know? She's coming up as your advice. She's asking you, Scorpio. She's telling you, Scorpio, you already know this. You have an intuition. You have a gut feeling or an instinct about what's happening here. Speak it. Embrace it as you. What is your truth? Speak your truth first. And remember, the Ace of Swords, I always see like the pen is mightier than the sword when I see the Ace of Swords. These are I statements. These are not accusations. This is not calling someone out for something. This is expressing your own truth. And it's almost like, as soon as you step up and say, well, this is what I believe and this is what I know and etc., whatever your own personal truth is, that's the Ace of Swords, as you step forward, everything comes to light. And I know it's big because you're speaking about some deep stuff inside of you. Maybe you've been kind of going through this change and not saying anything, but I want to see, let's have a look. So why is that bloody Seven of Swords coming up in the future? Guys, it's secrets. It's straight up. There's 3 cards that talk about secrets. Some of them are lies. Some of them are just hidden stuff. You know, it's not, you'll have to decide yourself. If you're not keeping secrets, then this is not for you. Because the secret stuff like that won't come up. It's come up as your advice. What do you know? So it's time to speak up from what you know. Because you know something. And it's come from all this change. It's time to say it. Those are the 3 cards that talk about secrets, shadiness, confusion, all of that kind of stuff. This is not about something that's hidden from you. I want to make that very clear, because when we get this kind of energy, we can start being suspicious of other people. That's not what this is saying. And it wouldn't come up like that. It wouldn't ask you to speak your truth or to say what you know or what your beliefs are if it wasn't something to do with you. Let's get you one more. I didn't really want to clarify them, but it kind of needs clarification. Yeah. All right. Something that you're done with. That's what it is. It is your energy. The 8 of Cups is, I don't want to settle. I know I've invested a lot of time and energy into this, but it's not enough for me. I want the 9 of Cups. Emotionally, I'm done. It doesn't hurt. This doesn't hurt. So with that Tower coming out, I always get asked this. Can we be the agent of the Tower? Yes, we can. We can bring down that Tower. When you get the High Priestess in the Tower, that can be an epiphany. That can be an epiphany. That can very much be, oh my God, I know I love this. Well, now I know what I love. You know, I was in a situation where so much was going, so much was unstable that I stayed with it. But out of that, I've figured out now what I do want. And so I'm not going to settle. So you might be this. I mean, this could be telling your work, I don't want that job, telling that relationship, I don't really want to do this. I'm the Queen of Wands. I'm fabulous. I deserve more. That I kind of feel like I've just been treading water here in whatever the situation is. Or anything along those lines. But it's your own personal truth that comes out first. And it's speaking it. Swords, remember? Thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and how we communicate them. And with the 7 of Swords coming up in the future, I know it feels risky. Because that's a projection. Whenever we get cards like that, the future's not written in stone. Every future exists in potentiality. Some of you are going to say, screw this. I'm still not saying it. All right, fine. But that means you're stuck. You're settling. You're settling. So do you deserve it or not, Scorpio? That's what it comes down to. Because this feels like a rebirth coming in. Rebirth. Charging around. Slow down. All right. It says, slow down. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold. Now, I think that's crucial because, you know, it's that sense of if you're waiting for something to come in, waiting for someone else to say something to you or to get that message, that Ace of Swords, it's about, well, what can you express? What have you learned from this? What is your own personal truth? Because sometimes we can get really, you know, we're adamant. Let me keep doing this and I'll get the results. And it's like, stop for a moment. Have a look at where you are. What is the bigger picture here? Especially if you're, I mean, the 2 of Pentacles we're juggling relationships, job, work, you know, finances, balancing the books. We're doing so much. But have you forgotten yourself in all of that? Have you forgotten what you love in all of that? Have you forgotten what your truth is in all of that? There's an overall temperance energy here. We're bringing some balance back into this. Somebody else got Treasure Island, but I don't remember who it was, and building blocks. Now, think about this. When the tower falls, there's all rubble there, right? And we have that tendency to like pick up the pieces and be like, oh my God, what's going on? But the tower collapses because it was a shoddy foundation. It wouldn't have fallen if it was stable. So we have to remove the rubble and grow and build a new building, tower, foundation. And that's what building blocks is. One brick at a time. But how do we do that? Not by juggling the crap that's there, by speaking a new truth, coming to a new understanding, a new way of communicating, bringing all that crap out that's been hidden in the shadows. It needs to come out now. It needs to come out into the open. You also got Treasure Island. And this is about, I love Treasure Island because it says you have the map to the Treasure Island. Have the map to the Treasure Island. But you know where X marks the spot, where the treasure is, but you still need to walk up to it. You still need to say, okay, well, this is where X is. It correlates with the map. Let me get my, let me get my spade. Let me start shoveling and let me pull out the treasure. There's action required. This is kind of like biding your time. And I know it says slow down. I don't think it's slow down in speaking your truth. It's slow down in this. Whatever this is. I just need to do this and I just need to do that. And this, building a strong foundation, it's one brick at a time. It's earth energy. It's the Ace of Pentacles. I know the Ace of Swords came up. But the Ace of Pentacles is one brick at a time. Let's slow down. Dearest you, we are gathering our magic together to help you celebrate your new beginning. You're stepping into a new version of your life, getting to tell a new story as you create it. Doesn't it feel like spring when the urge to expand wells up inside you from a primal place? The form of what you are growing has yet to take shape, and it is exciting to experience this new and fresh beginning. It's normal to feel both push and push back when entering any kind of new relationship. It's okay to admit you don't really know what to expect. What you can know is it's time to dive in and allow that new version of life to take shape through you on behalf of your partner in life, spirit. You've made it to a new level of awakening and contributing, and we are so excited to see where this will take you next. We're so proud of you. One of the things I will say is that when we have new beginnings, especially with the Ace of Swords, if we keep doing what we did, we will keep getting what we got. That's why we start that new cycle with a new perspective, a new philosophy, a new way of communicating our ideas, what we believe, what we think. Because if we just did the same thing that we did last time, it's going to end up at the Ten of Swords again. So we've learned from that mistake with that Ten of Swords where the writing's on the wall, we're betrayed, deceived, whatever it was. But the other thing that I keep seeing that Ten of Swords, the implication there is, let's not judge a situation based on what happened in the past. Just because it ended or you lost something in the past doesn't mean you will again. Find out the truth, express your truth. There feels like there's something in the shadows, but it starts off with that Ace of Swords, which is in the present. So if you have doubts, ask questions. If you have something to say yourself, just say it and trust. Trust. Because ultimately, whatever collapses with that tower, no matter what shocking thing happens, at the end of the day, it does bring you closer to what you truly love. And isn't that worth it, right?